What's up, guys? Boy Benny. You know what they always say, don't ever bring a knife to a gunfight. And what that really means is, if you're going to do battle, make sure you come prepared. Like, for instance, if you're going to go and come for Tucker Carlson in front of a room of people, and if you're going to say that Tucker Carlson is a racist, and if you're going to misquote and misattribute Tucker Carlson to Tucker Carlson's face, then, well, you better have quite a few more IQ points than Tucker Carlson to get out of that one. And a reporter in Australia certainly did not. Ooh, baby. This clip is going thermonuclear. It is melting down our social media feeds. Tucker Carlson availing himself to questions after a speech in Australia when a liberal reporter began to come for Tucker Carlson and thought she really had him over a barrel. And let me just tell you what, there was only one person that ended up down under, and this reporter's career is officially over. Okay, here we go. First off, misattributing Tucker Carlson's own quotes. Not a smart thing to do to his face.
Thank you very much for your address today. So you talked a little bit about immigration, and in the past you've talked about how white Australians, Americans, Europeans are being replaced by non-white immigrants in what is often referred to as the Great Replacement Theory. This is the same...
Have I said that whites are being replaced?
Well...
I don't think I said that.
Well, it's been mentioned on your show 4,000 times. And
really, when did I say that?
On your show.
I said whites are being replaced?
You have said that before.
Really?
Yeah.
I would challenge you to cite that, because I'm pretty sure I haven't said that. I said native-born Americans are being replaced, including blacks.
Native-born Americans.
Native-born Americans. And Americans who, like black Americans, have been African Americans, have been in the United States for, in many cases, their families over 400 years. And their concerns are every bit as real and valid and alive to me as the concerns of white people whose families have been there 400 years. So I've never said that whites are being replaced. Not one time. And you can't cite it.
Untrue.
So we just met, but when our relationship starts with a lie, it makes it tough to be friends. So let's pull that back. I'm happy to explain what I do think.
So.
Well, you actually can't say it because I didn't say it, and I don't believe it. And I'm telling you that to your face, so why don't you just accept me at face value? My concern is that the people who are born in the country are the main responsibility of its leaders. And as noted earlier, when those leaders shift their concern from the people whose responsibility it is to take care of to people around the world, to put their priorities above that of their own citizens, that's immoral. And they are being replaced in my country, people who are born in the United States. And the birth rate tells the whole story. They are not at replacement rate. And so the US population is growing because we're importing people from other countries. And my view is that happy people have children, and a functioning economy allows them to do that. And we don't have that. And so you need to fix the economy and fix the culture and make it so that people who want to have kids can. You don't just go for the quick sugar fix of importing new people. Like, that's my position. And if you think that's racist, that's your problem.
I never called you a racist.
But of course you are suggesting, and
well,
I must say, one of the reasons people don't like people like you in the media is that you never say exactly what you mean. Your slurs are all by implication, and you're about to tell me the Great Replacement Theory is racist or anti-Semitic, whatever. I've said what I've said to you right now like 100 times in public. I hope to, if I live long enough, say it 100 more times. I think it's completely honest and real, not racist or scary. It's factually true. It's not a theory, it's a fact. And the whole point of your question was to be like, you're a scary racist.
Well, I haven't.
And my response is, no, I'm not. Okay, well, how about no more lying in your questions, and then I'll answer it.
So, yeah, this is something that is really important and such a profound fact. So we live inside of a melting pot here in America. There are people of literally every conceivable ethnicity and background in this country. And just because there happen to be more of one group in one place and more of one group in another place, that doesn't make anybody any less American or any group intrinsically evil. In fact, what is absolutely a matter of fact is that the vast majority of native-born Americans, the vast majority, are enraged no matter where they come from. And that includes Hispanics, and the majority of migration here is Hispanic. That includes native-born Americans who are Hispanic, do not want open borders. They want mass deportations. Poll after poll after poll says that. Why don't we trust the science there? And so this idea that that the Great Replacement Theory is about just simply one race is insane. Why don't you go take your little camera, this little reporter, why don't you go take your little camera, like some real journalists have done, we've done this, and go to black parts of America and ask them what they think of an open border and ask them what they think about the scant resources in the inner city going to migrant shelters, their football fields and their gymnasiums and their basketball courts being closed down to create migrant shelters. I can show you what that looks like on the south side of Chicago and in Harlem. I can show you that because we actually have the footage. These people are idiots. And Tucker Carlson does such a great job in the second part of this answer at dispatching the stupidity and the full and total breakdown of how dumb this questioner actually is. Oh, it becomes really, really embarrassing. Watch.
Or, as you say, idea that has inspired the New York Buffalo shooting where 11
God,
black Americans were killed.
On.
2
you know
white
what I mean?
Americans were killed.
Like,
And it's also inspired...
it's not, first of all...
It's inspired one of the worst Australian guns
how do
of
they
all
get
time
people
to
this
shoot
stupid in the media? I guess it doesn't pay well. Look, I'm sorry. I've lived among people like you for too long, and I don't mean to call you stupid. Maybe you're just pretending to be, but I'm totally against violence. I'm totally against the war in Ukraine, for example, which doubtless you support. And like all dutiful liberals, support more carnage. I don't. I hate mass shootings, actually. Nothing I said, what does it mean to inspire something? My views are not bigoted against any group. They're honest. They're factual. That's not hate. That's reality. And my views derive from my deep concern for Americans, actually. Americans aren't having kids because they can't afford to. And nobody in charge cares. And so that's my position. That doesn't inspire mass shootings. How dare you try to tie me to some lunatic who murdered people? How dare you, actually? And in fact, I mean, do you know what I mean? I'd be like, Hitler wore those shoes. A lot of people are saying that you're like Hitler. Can you explain those shoes? Hitler wore exactly the same shoes. And you're like, I've got nothing to do with Hitler. Well, that's how I feel about your absurd, disingenuous question.
Right, so therefore you support gun control?
What? I thought it couldn't get dumber, but it did. No, I don't support disarming law-abiding people so they can't defend themselves. So the government has a monopoly on violence? I don't think so. First of all, in my country, that's illegal, as you know. But moreover, it should be illegal in every country. A sovereign person has the right to defend himself and his family. Period. And that said, I'm totally opposed to harming anyone. Anyone. Have you been calling? Are you concerned about the war in Ukraine? And the countless innocents being murdered there every single day? I doubt you are. Probably Putin bad. I am. I'm a Christian. I hate violence. I hate mass shootings. I have guns at home and often on my person when I'm in the United States, I'm proud to say, because I want to defend myself and those I love against violence. That's the point. I'm not perpetrating crimes. I'm not shooting strangers. I'm defending what I love. And if you're against that, I guess I would ask why. Why would you be against that?
Well, so you don't think you harbor any kind of responsibility for these hate crimes?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be charitable. I was like, maybe you're just pretending to be dumb. Now I don't think it's an act.
Tucker, thank you for taking those questions. I'm sure you enjoyed some
Actually, I
questions from
loved
the
it. I
press.
just feel sorry. I mean, because I got here and the country's so unbelievably beautiful and the people are so cheerful and funny and cool and smart. I'm like, your media's got to be better than ours. It can't just be a bunch of castrated robots reading questions from the boss. And then it turns out it's exactly the same, maybe even a tiny bit dumber.
Oh, it's just... This is called Vintage Tucker Carlson. This was the crowd, by the way. People say that Tucker's unpopular in Australia. Oh, wow, really? Would you look at this crowd? This crowd looks like it's a sporting event, like a major popular sporting event or a popular pop star or artist. You can see Tucker Carlson way up there on stage. Look at all the people. Look at that. Look at the people who showed up. So this is the audience that Tucker's arguing before. So when you hear the roars there, this is it. This is going thermonuclear. Daily Caller saying Tucker utterly stumps reporter by asking for a simple citation. Yeah. You better come correct. Again, knives, gunfights. Tucker Carlson talked about the Second Amendment there. Better come correct, especially if you're coming for the king. Tucker Carlson. Yeah. Totally and completely dispatched and torched. We do use torched in a lot of headlines, and that is an official torching. career over. Thank you, Tucker Carlson, for that. Needed a little boost and a little pick me up, and hope it helped your night out too. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe to the Tucker Carlson Network, who gave us that clip, and Tucker Carlson Network, who's doing God's work out here. Again, it's your boy Benny. See ya.